Hello dear students, I am Manoj Bharti and I am going to teach chemistry to class 8th. In this video we shall start our chapter number 1, matter. What is matter? Well students, matter is made up of tiny particles called molecules, and there is some force of attraction between these molecules, or you may say particles, and this force is called intermolecular force. Because these particles are consist of molecules, so we say that it is intermolecular force of attraction between these particles. And the space present in between the particles, like space present between two particles, is called intermolecular space. In this chapter we shall deal with these two terms, intermolecular space and intermolecular force. They have the vice versa kind of relationship. If the intermolecular force is stronger, then the intermolecular space would be smaller, and if the intermolecular force is weaker, then the intermolecular space would be larger. Now students, you have already learned there are three states of matter, that are solid, liquid and gaseous. For example, water exists in the solid state as ice. In the liquid state it exists as water, and in the gaseous state it exists as water vapors. Whatever may be the state of the matter, the molecular formula would always be same. For example, in the case of water it may be ice, liquid, or in the gaseous state water vapors, but it would always having the molecular formula water. So by changing the state of matter, the molecular formula does not change. Now we shall discuss what causes the difference in state. Well students, it is intermolecular force and intermolecular space present in between the particles that causes the difference in state. Here in the solid, the particles are tightly held and the intermolecular space is negligible, but the intermolecular force is very large. That's why the particles are bounded to one another. Here in the liquid, the intermolecular force is weaker than solid, but the intermolecular space is larger in comparison of solid. But in the gaseous state, the intermolecular space is very large, but the intermolecular force is very weak. Now we shall discuss about interconversion of states of matter. Interconversion means to convert one state into another. Here we can convert the solid into liquid and liquid into gaseous state by heating. But if you want to change the gaseous state to liquid state, you have to cool that substance. Again, cooling that substance would turn into solid state. Now the temperature at which a solid changes to liquid is called the melting point, and a liquid changes to solid is called the freezing point. Commonly, the melting and freezing point for a substance is same. For example, water freezes as well as melts at 0 degree Celsius. Ice melts at 0 degree Celsius and water freezes at 0 degree Celsius. Means it starts freezing at 0 degree Celsius. So the freezing and melting point of water is same, that is 0 degree Celsius. Now the boiling point is the temperature at which a liquid changes to gaseous state. It is the same temperature at which the steam will condense, and that temperature is for water is 100 degree Celsius. Students, now we shall discuss about kinetic theory of matter. Kinetic theory of matter explains the behavior of three states of matter. What are the three states of matter? That are solid, liquid and gaseous state. And here we have to discuss these postulates of kinetic theory of matter. The very first postulate is the matter is made up of tiny particles called molecules. You have already learned it. Now we shall discuss about solid state in the second point, liquid state third point, and gaseous state in the fourth point. In the solid state, the particles are rigidly held in position about which they can only vibrate. Students, the solids cannot flow, they can only vibrate to their mean positions. So this was the postulate all about the solids. In the liquid state, the particles are in continuous motion but are not completely separated from each other, because they have a large distance in between the particles in solid liquid state, so they can move, so they are in continuous motion, and therefore they can collide with one another. In the gaseous state, the particles are in continuous random motion, almost independent of each other, because in the gaseous state the particles are very apart in comparison of liquid, so they are almost independent of each other and are in continuous random motion. That means in any direction, so gases move in all the directions. The particles of gas travel much longer distance than in liquid because they collide with one another and with the particles with the walls of the vessels. The particles of gas collide with one another as well as with the walls of the vessel, and they travel a much larger distance because the particles are very apart, so they travel a very large distance before collision. And the collision of the particles with the walls of the vessel give rise to the pressure of the gas. The gases exert pressure. This is because the particles keep on gliding with one another as well as with the walls of the vessel. Now again, these two postulates are very important. The particles possess energy due to their motion, and the energy possessed by the particle due to the motion is called kinetic energy. The word kinetic means motion, and the kinetic energy is directly dependent on the temperature. If you will rise the temperature, the kinetic energy would also increase, and vice versa. Now we will discuss how kinetic energy explains the interconversion of states of matter. First we will discuss about solid liquid interconversion, means how solid changes to liquid and liquid changes to solid. Students, when we give temperature, means we rise the temperature of the solid, the particles can only vibrate, you have already learned, and at a temperature called melting point the solid starts converting to liquid because they vibrate so vigorously that they move away from each other. So due to increase in kinetic energy, the particles move away from each other, hence solid converted into liquid at a temperature called melting point. Next, for converting a liquid into solid state, we have to cool the matter. So when we lower the temperature of the matter, the kinetic motion of the particles ceases and the particles get tightly fixed. So they are held in position and get fixed. So the liquid is converted into solid after cooling, because lowering temperature would cease its motion. Cease means decrease, or you may say cease means end. So the motion of the particles would cease or end, and the particles would get in a fixed position. So the arrangement of particles in fixed position is solids. They are tightly held in the fixed position, so they form solid. So after lowering the temperature, the liquid converts into solid. This is explained on the basis of kinetic theory. Next we shall discuss how liquid changes into gases or gases change to liquid. First, liquid to gases. The particles in the liquid are in continuous motion, you have read it, and when they are in continuous motion, the particles keep on colliding with each other, and when you raise the temperature, there is more kinetic energy increases, and the motion of the particles also increases, so they collide with each other more vigorously, and when the force by which they collide with each other is that strong that they overcome the force of attraction of the particles. So when the force of attraction of the particles is overcome, the particles changes to gaseous state. Here the particles when collide very strongly with each other, because when kinetic energy is increased, the motion of the particles increase, so they converted into vapor state. So the temperature at which the liquid changes to vapor state is called the boiling point. Next one is gases to liquid. How gases converted into liquid state? Students, you read that gases are in continuous motion and the motion is independent of each other, because the gases particles are very apart from each other, and when you lower the temperature, the kinetic energy is also lowered and the motion of the particles is also lowered, and the gases collide with each other so that they can form lumps or clusters, so they condenses to liquid. So by cooling the gases, they can be converted to liquid because the motion ceases and they convert to liquid state. Now we will discuss the conditions of change of state differ from substance to substance. What are the conditions of change of states? These are melting point, boiling point, freezing point. So you know that liquid freezes 0 degrees Celsius. Which liquid? Water. It freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. But this is not the same for all the substances. For example, ethanol, the alcohol which is used for the drinking purposes, has the boiling point 78 degrees Celsius. They have the different boiling points because they have the different intermolecular forces and intermolecular spaces in between the particles. Here in the water, the intermolecular force is stronger, so we need more temperature to overcome its intermolecular force of attraction. But in the ethanol, the intermolecular force is weaker, so we need less energy, or you may say less temperature, that is 78 degrees Celsius, to overcome its intermolecular force. So in other words, you can say that the conditions of change of state differ from substance to substance, and this is because of the difference in intermolecular states and intermolecular forces present in between the particles. Now we shall discuss about the law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass was given by Lavoisier in the late 18th century. It states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted or changed from one form to another, and the total mass of the substance before and after the change remains the same. Means the substance before and after the change of state of the matter would be same. We can discuss the law of conservation of mass by some examples. For example, in physical changes, like the mass of an electric bulb does not change after it remains lighted for some time. So there is no change in the bulb after or before the glow. Similarly, when you change ice into water, the mass of the ice would be equal to the mass of the water. Now, for example, in chemical changes, the mass of reactants would be equal to the mass of the products. For example, the mass of the paper and oxygen. Students, when you try to burn a paper, you need oxygen. So mass of the paper plus oxygen would be equal to the mass of the ash, carbon dioxide and water vapors that are formed after the paper is burnt. So this was all about the chapter matter. Thank you.